Is YouTube censoring criticism of Biden's speech?
Mr. Reagan.
So I was looking at the analytics for a video that I made recently analyzing Joe Biden's recent speech, the one for which they hired the famous set designer Satan. So I was looking through my analytics and I noticed something peculiar. YouTube didn't count a lot of the views. Now, this video was never suspended. It didn't violate any YouTube guidelines. I didn't get any official communication from YouTube. What it looks like happened here is that somebody at YouTube, either officially or unofficially, went in and messed with my numbers. They sabotaged my video. From what I can tell, they stopped counting 13 hours after the video first posted, and they started counting again 25 hours later. Very strange. The number of total views that were not counted in that time wasn't all that much. Actually, it was only about 12,643 views by my calculation. So why do I use the term sabotage? Why do I consider this a violation so serious that I would make an entire video about it? Because I think that they did a lot more than just not count 12,643 views in 25 hours. I'll explain all of this in one moment. First, I have to sell you something. Central banks are increasing their gold reserves due to concerns over a global financial crisis. Billionaires like Ray Dalio and giant fund management companies like Goldman Sachs are turning to physical assets like gold. And that's not surprising. Historically, gold's biggest rallies happened after the biggest recessions in history. In fact, after the 2007 to 2009 recession, gold prices jumped 50.6%. Think about what that means. Wealth of entire countries are being protected by gold. Wealth of billionaires are being protected by gold. Everyone in the know is using gold to keep their billions safe. And Noble Gold Investments can help you protect your own wealth with gold as well, and it takes less than 5 minutes to set up an account. Noble Gold specializes in storing the value of your wealth through gold IRAs, and so Noble Gold is the natural choice. And they're giving away a beautiful 1/10 ounce gold American Eagle coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k this month. Do something different. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now at 877-646-5347 or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Okay, now I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works exactly. No one does. It's a carefully guarded secret, and my channel has been suppressed for a very long time. I could go into detail, but basically, ever since I posted my Gillette parody, even before my AOC video came out, I noticed a lot of stuff going on with my channel that indicated that I was being suppressed. One particularly irritating thing is that YouTube will not allow me to market my merchandise on the YouTube website. See, YouTube announced a few years back that they'd partnered with teespring.com, and we creators could put a banner below each of our videos marketing our merchandise on Teespring. How cool is that, right? But not Mr. Reagan. No, Mr. Reagan was blacklisted. The Mr. Reagan channel was not allowed to have a merchandise banner because I was an extreme MAGA Republican, or whatever it is that they were calling us at that time. Heck, I'm not even allowed to have a YouTube plaque. You ever notice that a lot of YouTubers have a YouTube plaque on their sets, usually on the wall behind them somewhere? Well, these are called YouTube Creator Awards, and I noticed that a lot of my friends had these, and so I looked into getting one for myself. I wasn't all that interested in the plaque itself, but as I suspected that my channel was being suppressed in various other ways, I thought, well, if I try to get a plaque and they deny it, that's just another little bit of evidence that, yeah, I'm on some kind of YouTube blacklist. And indeed, they refused to give me my freaking plaque. Now, if you check out the Wikipedia page on this, it explains that, quote, YouTube reserves the right to refuse to hand out a creator award, which it has done for channels featuring horror or extremist political content. So apparently, my channel is extremist political content. And so obviously, YouTube has me on some kind of blacklist for extremist political content, which is frankly insane. My views are very, very mainstream conservative views. And I think that's true by literally any measure. But apparently, mainstream conservative views are extremist in the deranged minds of the employees at YouTube. Probably the clearest example of YouTube's vicious suppression of my channel was my drop in views in 2021. I went from getting about 100,000 views per video on average to about 20,000 views. So, okay, this isn't really a video about my personal experience with YouTube suppression. I just wanted to point out that I have been dealing with this kind of stuff for quite a long time. So I know what the ordinary everyday suppression of political speech on YouTube looks like. And what happened to my Biden speech video is not normal everyday YouTube suppression. This was something very different. This was targeted. Now, I have never seen this before. Halfway through the first day, my views just flatlined. As I said, 12,643 views were just not counted. Now you can see the full number of views here under my video, but in the analytics, I'm missing about 12,643. Now, the views start building again after 38 hours, and losing almost 13,000 views on a video that only got a reported 43,582 views total, at least at the time I wrote this script, well, it is a little bit annoying. But that's not really why this is such a big deal. This is a big deal because a video tends to get all its momentum in the first couple of days. Usually, if a video does well in the first couple of days, the algorithm goes, oh, this video is doing well. I should recommend it to more viewers. However, it looks like in the case of the Biden speech video that I made, somebody at YouTube went in and fixed it so that this Biden devil speech video just goes away. It could not go viral. It could not catch the algorithm. It could not blow up. It could not reach a broader audience. Because if you suppress the number of views that it's getting early on, it won't catch that algorithm and it won't blow up. And you might say, why would they go in and specifically reduce the spread of this Biden speech video in particular, if your entire channel is already shadow banned? Well, here's my theory. I don't think the person who went in and did this knew that my channel was shadow banned. I don't even think they considered that. I think that the order came down to some programmer guy, and he went in and he did a search for every video on YouTube that was critical of Biden's speech, and he just made efforts to try to kill everything. And skeptics out there will say, well, you know, that flat line in the views on your video there, that's probably just a glitch in the analytics. And you know, that's actually what I thought at first. I thought, I've seen weird glitches in the algorithm before. Maybe this is nothing. But then I noticed this. Several analytics showed over 100% watch time. How the heck is that possible? There's no way that 121.5% of those who watched my video were subscribed to my channel. And then there's another 7.7% who were unsubscribed. I cannot have a total watch time of 129.2%. That does not make any sense. Furthermore, apparently 106.9% of those who watched this video came from the United States, plus 25% or so from other countries. And you add those two things up, and once again, you've got 130%. And here is the craziest thing. I have more unique viewers than views. How is it possible to have more viewers than views? How is that possible? And look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is some kind of glitch. Nobody messed with the analytics. Nobody tried to stop this video from gaining traction. Maybe I'm just paranoid after several years of YouTube trying to destroy my channel. So after seeing this bizarre stuff going on with the analytics, I showed a friend of mine. This guy also has a politically conservative YouTube channel, but he has got millions of subscribers. And I had him look over these screenshots and tell me what he thinks of them. He told me he has never seen this kind of analytics glitch before. And his best guess was, yeah, they went in and they messed with my video. He also added that he's had videos that were doing extremely well, and then suddenly there was a drop in views without any apparent reason. And so he's speculated for a long time now that some of the activists working at YouTube will go in and they'll just cut off the natural distribution of certain videos that they don't like. And so this gave me a lot more confidence to say, yeah, you know what, this was intentional sabotage. And I should say that there is still a possibility that what happened with my video was just a glitch. And look, the big concern here is not that they took some views away from a video of mine or they stopped it from going viral or anything like that. I'm not that worried about this one video. The reason this is concerning is because they're doing this with every video that's critical of Biden's speech. That they're doing this across YouTube. That's my concern. And so I looked into this, and sure enough, they are not just messing with my video. You see, there are videos critical of Biden's speech that did, in fact, do well. They got well over 1 million views, but these videos have all been buried. If you do a very specific search, if you search for Biden's speech and then filter by view count, and then you filter it by this month, then you can find them. Fox and Friends, 2 million views. Tucker, 1.8 million views. The Five, 1.6 million views. Sky News Australia, 1.4 million views. So there are several videos critical of Biden's speech with well over 1 million views, mostly from Fox News. But try finding these. I had to use an extremely narrow set of parameters to find these videos. If you type Biden speech into YouTube, you have to scroll through 40 videos before you hit one that's critical of Joe Biden's blood-red fascistic rant. And then it's another 15 until you hit another critical video. Now keep in mind, these are some of the most viewed videos about a Biden speech in the history of YouTube. And just about every conservative political pundit and a good number of leftist pundits criticized this speech. It was big news, and it was just like a week back. And yet you have to scroll through 40 videos to see anything that criticizes it? And try typing in Biden Pennsylvania speech, Biden Philadelphia speech, Biden MAGA Republican speech. It doesn't really matter what you search for, it is extremely difficult to find anything critical of that speech. Most of the mainstream media networks laughably refer to the speech as the Soul of America speech, and they try to describe it as fiery. And you'll find a ton of those videos. And so yes, I believe that somebody went in and messed with my channel. I believe that they were trying to stop my video from triggering the algorithm. I believe that they sabotaged my video so that it would not gain traction. And I believe that they did this with a lot of other videos too. And I also believe that they buried the videos that had already gone viral. They are suppressing any video that is critical of Joe Biden's speech. And if they're suppressing these videos, what else are they doing for Biden and the Biden administration? A lot of big news stories have broken recently about the collaboration between the Biden White House and social media sites in order to censor conservative political speech, violating the First Amendment rights of all of those targeted. And it seems very likely to me that this is another instance of that. It seems very likely that somebody at the White House made a phone call to one of their buddies at YouTube and said, "What can you do to help us mitigate this dumpster fire?" And the folks at YouTube said, "We're on it." But like I said, maybe I'm just being paranoid. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And remember, it's not that liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government. Get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.